and welcome to the Ask Okey podcast. For those of you who are new, I'm Pete. I ask and Okey, my guest, answers, hence we have Ask Okey. For those of you who've been with us for a while or for quite a long time, this is episode, I think, 77?
81.
81,
yes.
Thank you. It's episode 81. We're here in Studio 2. Some of you commented last week on the studio. Thank you very much. Very kind of you to say so. And Proff, of course, began doing all his product videos here in Studio 2 many years ago. And we've been here since we vacated Studio 1 because we're going to be moving to the new, grand, improved, and altogether different Studio 1 in due course. Before we get started, some of you will no doubt already have noticed I don't have my usual notebook. I can't find it, is the simple reason for that. Today's word is flabbergasted, because so many of you out there seem to have been flabbergasted by some of what Prof and I talked about in the last couple of podcasts, and we'll get into that a little bit today because some of it was absolutely priceless. Flabbergasted. I don't know the etymology, but it's a good word. Use it to impress your friends and even your enemies, who knows. Prof, how are you?
Prof.
It's the good word.
Pete, it's on average, sort of overall, things are well.
Good.
It's been a very hectic week, but every week
Has
is.
it? Yes, every week. Yes. For Ask Okey, as they say, in the film Wall Street, I think Michael Douglas said, money never sleeps, but we can say that suits never sleep.
Correct.
So there's always something to be doing. And speaking of suits, we have a sort of study in brown today.
Yes, this is one of the summer suits.
Yeah.
It's very light linen, so it's getting quite humid out there.
And it's the same pattern as you had last week, but a different color.
A glam plaid.
Yeah, that's
a plaid
right,
with
yes.
a very faint blue over check. Just a pretty standard. Do you mind?
Yeah, you may indeed. You may.
So it's a pretty standard, three button.
The occasion, yes.
Again, it's one of my more casual suits. So this one's done with a ticket pocket.
That's it. Yes.
Done with our classic trousers. Not the triple F.
No, those are fairly slim, aren't they? Considering
so it's
some
a
of your summer suits.
Very casual look. It's getting quite humid out there.
It is. It's extremely humid out there.
So
yes.
the linens are becoming almost indispensable at this point.
Oh, indeed. But you'll notice, everybody, that Prof says linen, but of course it looks just as smart as wool would look. Whereas my linen always looks as I've slept in it. I didn't, but I could have. It needs a press, but Prof always looks as though he just stepped out of the closet, so to speak. No pun intended there. And we have the Ask Okey Grenadine Grossi. Grenadine Grossi?
Grenadine Grossa. It's
Grenadine
becoming
Grossa.
one of my favorites.
Is it?
Yes, because particularly on a day when I don't want to think too much.
Right. Yes.
Today, as you know, it was a very busy day.
I
just wanted to get on set.
Right.
So I picked out the suit and I just thought, well, you can't go wrong with a grenadine tie.
So this must be the first time in podcast history that Prof just threw on whatever he found in a cupboard to hand. So yes, it does even happen to the great Okey himself. And the shirt is interesting because it's got little lines on it.
Yes, it's I guess what you might call a hair stripe.
Hair stripe,
It's
okay.
a white and blue hair stripe.
So that's nice, you see, because it's a little bit more interesting than just a
blue.
Go ahead. Than just a plain blue.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
And some of you asked what I was. My jacket last week, it was the check one. It's a wool, linen, and silk blend.
By Dugdale.
In, I think, the Summer Cascade or the Spring Jacketing series. And it's very lightweight. It's probably only maybe 11 ounces. And it's quite bold. It looked quite bold on.
It is. I love the patterns, the bold hound's teeth.
Yeah, it's a good pattern, isn't it? Yeah.
It.
It's just this side of being loud.
Mm-hmm.
if you know what I mean.
It's just, I wouldn't say loud, it's just the right size. We've discussed this in the past. One ought to take a bit of care when picking patterns for odd jacketings.
Yeah, definitely.
With odd jacketings, the patterns generally should be bolder.
Yes.
Especially patterns that share the same DNA with suits. For instance, houndstooth. You can use them for sport coats. You can use them for suits.
Yes.
Same with Prince of Wales checks and even window panes.
But can you really wear a jacket made of Prince of Wales?
I've seen it done.
Really? It doesn't look like half a suit.
No, because it all comes down to the texture. It comes down to the texture, color, but mostly the texture. And also the scale.
Right.
The scale of the patterns.
So a big Prince of Wales.
Of course, the scale.
In a rough tweed or something.
Absolutely. So if you think about it, whether you're doing window panes or any sort of patterns that share a DNA or sort of share that could be used as suits, the jacketing version of it typically has bolder patterns. Yes,
and you've got a few which you've had made up, and you've got a few which you haven't made up yet, if they're still on the bolt. But I was just thinking about this. When you look at some of the fabrics on the websites, the Dugdale website or the Harrison's website, it never looks quite as it does in real life. The one jacket I got, which was, Fox calls it pewter. It's kind of like a grayish blue and a gray check as well. Huh? And on the website, the contrast looked more. But when I got it, the contrast there's not a lot of contrast between the dark and the light checks, if you know what I mean. So you have to be careful, because how it looks on the website is not exactly how it's going to look.
Well, again, it depends on what screen you're using.
Well, true.
Some screens have higher resolution than others.
True. Yes.
But I've never had any trouble picking cloth. I mean, one might make their argument that I've been doing this for so long that through not so much trial and error, but honing your sixth sense, you're able to pick out winners just by looking at them on the screen.
Yes,
so that's how I largely built my personal collection. And generally, when I pick out fabrics for R&D, I sit down and I go through the different websites, and that's how I curate the fabrics. So it takes a little bit of I wouldn't say knowledge so much as a sixth sense. After a while, you start to get a sense of what works.
Well, for example, you see, if you look on the Harrison's website, they've got some nice-looking plaid patterns in a sort of light bluish gray. And you look at that and you think, oh, that looks really good. But keeping in mind what a light bluish gray is actually going to look like, is it going to be a little bit too bright or not bright enough is the question. And I guess, yes, you do develop this sixth sense. The team members, Tim, Willie, Nasir, Hashim, they are very good at guiding the customers. So when the customer says, no, I want this, they'll be able to tell them.
That's the whole point of a service, right? I mean, that's the whole point of the service we offer. It's mostly guiding the customer right.
That's right. Yep.
And so that is where actually most of the value that we add is basically helping the customer make the best choice for the customer.
Well, I've noticed it even happens when you see things in shops. I mean, not that you would buy ready to wear, but there are people who do, as you know, and quite a number of them actually. And even when you see something hanging in a shop, maybe because of it's hanging next to another one, then when you get it home, it sometimes doesn't look quite the same. And when you put it next to something else that you already have, you think, oh. And it looks a little bit brighter, a little bit duller. Now, public service announcement, everybody. According to Instagram, or people on Instagram, Okey and I are pompous elitists. I think that was the phrase that was used.
Correct.
Yes. So, everybody, if you didn't know, Okey and I are, especially Okey, is a pompous elitist. And we had a blast of commentary. I was accused of fat shaming by the cognoscenti out there, and I think you were, and you didn't even say it. So there you go. No matter what we say up here or over here in Studio 2, by the time it gets out to the public, people have a field day with it, don't they?
I was roped in as an enabler.
Oh, really? Oh, you were enabling, were you? Okay.
Oh, because I just laughed a few times.
All right, well, that'll do it.
Well,
that'll do it. Remember what they say.
That'll do it. I think people jumped on that. A few people jumped on that and said, in other words,
you were encouraging and abetting.
Aiding and abetting.
The evil of your host.
Absolutely.
Oh, dear, yes.
Absolutely.
But the funny thing is that I didn't mean any harm by it.
No, but Peter, you have to take these things with a bag of salt.
Oh, I
not
do.
a grain of salt. I think, at this point, I'm fairly accustomed to it because people see what they want to see and they hear what they want to hear.
Yeah.
So two people could listen to the same reel and walk away with two completely different views.
Yeah, they could, couldn't they? Yes.
And you find that people come to watch these videos with a preconceived idea of who and what we are.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so when they watch these reels, they're looking for things to support their biases. So, there's just nothing you're going to say that cannot be turned into ammunition, as it were.
True.
So you have to look at these things and just look at it as pure comedy. I don't take any of it seriously.
Well, the trouble is, supposing I were to say to you, oh, it's a lovely day today, somebody out there will accuse you of weather shaming, or he'll say, well, it's not a lovely day for all those people
you're
who are
insensitive
starving.
to people who are not having a good day.
That's right, yes. No, seriously, you can't win, can you? But the other thing is some chap's been out there making videos talking about the cult.
Yes.
And this is interesting.
There were, I think I counted, there were about 5 of them this week. Every day there was a reaction video to something.
Yeah.
You or I have said.
Yes.
And again, I think you have to, again, I've been at this for too long not to understand the intention or sort of the motives behind these things. People want to draw you into a back and forth. And of course, first of all, we're far too busy for that.
Yes.
But that's just well beneath us anyway. And so you just shrug and you laugh and you move on.
Yes. But there is a point, though, that you made, I think it was last week, which does need a little bit of clarification. You mentioned the famous $300 suit and the $300 man. And you pointed out that you had bought the suit for $375. The point was that you bought a $1,000 suit for $375. Well, that was the whole point of what you were saying, was that you buy it on sale if you can't or you don't want to pay the full ticket price. But people seem to think that this was a sort of criticism, and it was odd.
Somebody else, I'll even go you one better. I think in one of the comments, somebody says, well, here he is. He told us some time ago that he bought his first suit, which is a fact, a Hickey Freeman suit I bought. It was, I think, originally listed at $1,500.
Yeah, there you go.
And I got it for 70% off at $300.
Yes.
But this was a long time ago.
Yeah.
$300 of 25 years ago, maybe.
There we are.
25, 30 years ago. And someone said, well, here he was telling us he bought a suit at discount, and here he is telling us not to ask for a discount. And look, that's one of those things where people take information and they twist it.
Yes.
And they basically communicate it in a way that already suits their existing bias.
Sure.
Look, it's one thing to go and walk into Dillard's or walk into any retailer for that matter and look at a markdown suit.
Yeah.
If Hickey Freeman decides to mark down their suit, that's their problem.
Yeah.
That's a corporate decision. That's a business decision.
Sure.
That's a branding decision.
Sure.
You are not going to see a markdown Hermes suit anywhere.
A Hermes
I grant
suit.
you, a Hermes.
Right. No,
Hermes anything.
No.
Okay? You're not going to see a markdown Hermes anything or certain brands. You're not going to see so markdowns are a brand strategy. Some brands use markdowns as a way to just clear out inventory.
Sure,
Right?
sure.
But of course, that has an impact on the brand. But going to, walking into a shop that sells at full price and trying to get a discount. Can you imagine walking into Bergdorf Goodman in New York or Saks?
Yeah.
And looking at a current season suit and saying, hey, can you give me this for half off?
No, but even...
I mean, you wouldn't even dare do that. And if you
No,
did that, they would basically call up security to haul your ass out of there. So what makes you think you could walk up to AskOkey and ask for a discount, on an undiscounted product?
No, but
so
even...
these are the types of things, Pete, that you have to be very almost... I wouldn't say insensitive to, but you have to just laugh them off because there's so much out there in the internet that you and I have said, right?
Yeah.
And this goes back 5-6 years.
Absolutely.
And it's very easy to mine something somebody I said years ago and essentially twist it around.
Oh, absolutely.
So again, I don't, like I said, Pete, I don't give much weight to these things. At best, they have comedy value.
They do, especially the cult thing. I thought that was interesting, as if we've got some sort of compound in the jungle somewhere, and we've got all the followers in there. Yeah,
Yes.
But the point about the discount, surely, is that even if you walked into Men's Warehouse and asked for a discount, they wouldn't give you one. If they choose to put something on sale,
then
that's
it's a
not a
corporate
discount
decision.
anymore.
Absolutely.
That's on sale.
Right.
But if you just walked in and said, "Can I have a discount?" They say,
just...
"Sorry, boss, no, that's the price." So, as you said, I don't know if people twist it on purpose or they twist it just out of not understanding, because I have a feeling they just...
But going back to your initial comment, I think there is this idea that AskOkey is this out-of-touch elitist brand, and
absolutely, yes,
and we're doing everything possible to gatekeep by creating all these rules and so on and so forth, that the motive or the intention is to sort of to keep people out of this culture, which I really don't understand.
No.
I really don't understand the idea behind that. I'm not sure what it is about us that suggests an elitist propensity or predilection for elitism. And sometimes when you think about it, the fact that, for instance, that you prefer to choose your words and place them very carefully, right? Your elocution. People read into these things and they run off with their own assumptions, and they label them all sorts of things because you speak a certain way, you present a certain way. And I think sometimes it has nothing to do with the clothing or the subject itself.
No.
It has nothing to do with the subject. It has nothing to do with, it's just people have this, they have this idea of what an elite looks like and sounds like.
I suppose.
And then when you look and sound like that, automatically you're labeled that without any real, you might say, substance.
I mean, there are, I have to say, some pretty snooty people out there on social media. But I also must say that I don't think we are them. I mean, we just sit here in the room here, and there's nothing particularly fancy about Studio One or Studio Two. But it's something, I think what it is it's an awful lot of people, I have to say this, an awful lot of people are, I think, dissatisfied with their lives. And they express this dissatisfaction because they sit on social. One of the reasons they are dissatisfied is they spend 24 hours a day on social media. But they sort of express that dissatisfaction by picking at things that they see. I have a feeling a lot of it's that. People are just fed up with their own lives, and then they look at a couple of guys who seem to be enjoying themselves and think, oh, that's terrible, and they want to lay into us. But on a different subject, why do trousers, sorry everybody, nerdy question here, why do trousers bunch at the back of the leg? Is it that they're too long, or is it that what is it that, because I've noticed sometimes you'll see pictures and the trousers, they hang nice at the front, and then they sort of bunch up at the back. Mm-hmm. Is this something to do with the fishtails, or is it to do with the length? What is it?
No, it's the back rise.
The back rise?
Yes, okay. It's the back rise. Some would say back balance. I mean,
But if you have regular, I mean, obviously the AskOkey product is rather,
if I stand
doesn't
up,
have
so
that
if you look at the back of, I don't know, I don't have a mirror. Okay, there's a mirror.
Right, there's a glass there.
So if you look at this, you see how that falls straight?
It does fall straight, yes.
So it should fall, your trousers should drape both in front and the back.
Yes, I wonder how mine,
drape,
how do mine fall?
Yours are falling quite straight.
Are they?
If you
Good.
Come to the side, just turn to the side, Mm-hmm. So it needs a bit of a press, but it's falling straight.
Good.
So if you look at this, right?
Yes.
Okay, I don't mean to flash you guys, gentlemen. But the trousers should drape in a straight line. Now, what you find is sometimes the trousers collapse here.
That's what I mean, collapsing,
either under the seat or at the knee.
The knee, yes.
And the reason for that is that the back rise is too long, often.
Too long?
Right, the back rise. So the back rise is basically the distance is kind of the distance from the top here to the bottom. So if it's too long, of course, it's going to puddle somewhere.
Right, okay.
So a number of things could be happening, right? It could be either the back rise is too long, but also there are a number of other technical issues that can cause the back rise to be too long. And we've covered this in a prior segment. If you, for instance, I'm going to borrow you for a little bit. You have an erect posture. You have very good posture. You have very good erect. Your standing posture is very good.
Thank you.
So that's why your trousers are sitting very well. They're hanging very well. Mm-hmm. Now, there are gentlemen that have what you might call forward hips. So come here. I want to demonstrate this in front of the camera. So just stand to the side. Okay. So some gentlemen have forward hips. Now imagine pushing your hips forward, Pete, a little bit.
Right.
You see what happens?
Yes.
See, when you push your hip forward a little bit, so if you've got forward hips, it starts to bunch up here.
Okay.
You see that?
Yes.
You start to have that excess.
Yes.
Now, when you have forward hips, what we do then is that we have to shorten the back rise.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
We have to shorten the back rise like that. Mm-hmm. Right? And we have to do it from the top.
So you pull it up, yeah.
Right. We have to shorten the back rise so that to take off this excess cloth that gathers right under the seat or at the back of the knee. That is one way. There are also a number of other ways to do it. And this we discovered largely through a combination of studying patterns and even my own particular posture. When you have forward hips, what happens is that the curve, right?
Yeah.
The curve of your trousers, the curve of the seam, right? It has to be shallower.
The back seam.
It has to be shallower.
Now, when you say shallower, you mean?
So the shape
like
itself.
more of a line.
Right. The shape has to be adjusted.
Okay.
The shape has to be adjusted if you have forward hips. Because it's not just taking up the back rise. You could take up the back rise, but you also have to account for the shape of the seat. Because when your pelvis is tilted forward, it's going to change the shape of the crotch.
Right.
It's going to change the shape, not just the numerical length of the rise, both the front and the back rise. It's not
from
just
the
the
floor,
numerical.
from the floor, is it?
Right. No. Because remember, the length of your rise, right, is from here, starting from here, going all the way. We use a jock strap.
So it goes all the way round.
In the days before AI, right, when we used to measure by hand, right, we would use this jock strap, right. We would tell people to tie a rope.
Yeah, that's right.
Basically, tie a rope from here and tie to the back.
To the back,
right.
Yeah.
And just
to get
measure
that
distance.
Yeah.
That is your total rise, front and back rise.
Okay.
So the distance from that front following the line of your crotch up to the back is your full rise, both front and back. The back part starts at the cross seams of the trouser. So the back rise starts there in the front, but the overall rise is from the front all the way to the back.
Okay.
And so that is the numerical length or sort of the value, the numerical value of the rise. But the shape also matters.
Yes.
It's not just the number, it's the shape.
Yes.
It depends on where you place the numbers.
Yes.
You understand?
Front or back.
Front or back,
Okay.
exactly, and the shape of it. So these are all very technical issues, and of course, these are things that are better captured in Bespoke.
I was going to ask about this.
These are things that are easier to capture in Bespoke.
So when we do the AI measurements, how much of that sort of individual posture and that kind of thing can we get?
It captures some of it, but not in the way we are able to do with Bespoke. Not in the same way we're able to do it with Bespoke. Now, I mean, most people we've seen, we haven't had any real issues. I mean, a lot of people fall inside the, I guess what you would call sort of the normal distribution curve.
Yeah.
About 64%. I mean, you've got outliers. But I'd say a lot of cases, a lot of our customers fall inside a normal distribution curve, such that we haven't had to radically alter the pattern for any customers.
So if the AI didn't get it fully, the pictures...
Posture pictures.
The posture pictures
exactly.
will probably... And the fellows on the clothing team, they seem to be pretty good at picking that up.
Yeah, I mean, it comes from experience. When you've done this over and over for a while, you start to sort of you see when you see the animal, okay, that's that. But again, it's nothing like with the Bespoke process, because we go through a thorough test of it, multiple tests of it.
That's
process.
it. Yes.
So things like that are ironed out completely
in the test of it.
In the test of it, even before you get to the actual making of the trousers.
Great stuff. Great stuff. Thank you, Prof. And for all of those of you who are wondering about that particular subject, now you know. And the new format, as you know, for the podcast is a little bit shorter. So that's all we've got time for. We look forward to being with you next time. Bye for now.